Good morning, American. Good afternoon, British folks, and good evening to the rest. I am going to stream for a couple of hours. Today, we are simply going to go through live market, see if there's any opportunities, log the trade, trade it, and then we will then go into study session, which will be us watching from episode 25 onwards. So, we are going through the transition period of where we are trying to turn what we've learned into what we know and do, which is going to be a lot difficult. A lot difficult, very difficult in the sense of there's a lot of information. So we're going to start with DXY, which will give us a bias for a lot of USD pairs. It's currently 8:48 American time, New York time, which is 1:30, 1:49 UK time or GMT, which means that it's New York open and London session is pretty much also open technically as well. So we're going to get the midnight close. So that's from here. And then we are going to get a trend line from wait. Okay. And the minute it opened is right here. Midnight open. Over here we have 1:30, 8:30, sorry. The session open. Prior to that, we need to determine if this candlestick is going to be bullish or bearish. Okay, so we swept this buy side liquidity over here. Okay, we are in the bearish structure in terms of we are in downtrend. We had the market to shift to the downside. We filled this imbalance halfway. We rejected it. We've taken out this low right here. We also created an imbalance from here to here. So it's plausible we go up into it before we go down, especially with liquidity resting below this low and this low. So the main thing is going to be interesting now because we are at a turning point. Technically, we're bullish in terms of bearish, sorry, because we are market structure has been broken to the downside. We've done XYZ, but we've also filled this fair value gap up here. Rejected. You can see we made it to just above the halfway point, fell down. So we didn't even fully fill it. The similar thing has happened. We have a fair value gap from here to here, based on the daily time frame that is. From here to here. And we've come up to get similar to this area. So it could reject from this point onwards. So with the midnight open, we literally rallied upwards and cleanly displaced or expanded to the upside. From session open, if we're going to continue going up, we might come down first to then go up and then come down. So it's basically like a trifecta move where we can have a manipulation here, taking out this low and maybe low down here, lows down here. Manipulation to then distribute up here. Or we could go further into the fair value gap and then drop. Or we could just drop. So I don't know which one's yet because based on the daily time frame, if you ask me from midnight, I would have said we are bullish up into this fair value gap. So it's possible we go up into this fair value gap and then come back down. So I'm going to try to draw a fib to see some ranges. I'll delete lines where I don't know what they mean. Oh, that's the previous low. Yeah, I can go. So if we look at the power of 3, we opened over here. We manipulated down here, accumulated buy orders. It looks like we're distributing up here. But then this could all be a part of like a power of 6. Where now we've distributed, we then have manipulation, accumulation, distribution. So it's like a swing, 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 swing. I just don't know if this will all happen in one day. Another thing is this low, this high. We are in what's this weight like? We are in a discount area from this range up here to this range up here. So this is a bit difficult to know where price is going. Mainly just because this move has kind of already happened, which is what we predicted. We are expecting it to drop from here, but I just don't know if it will be today. Let's have a look at the week. So here, some buy side liquidity. So maybe if we want to enter some sells, we want price to rally up here before it goes down. So I'll say we're bullish up until this area. So what we'll be looking for in the short term would be a run of these lows. So use the order block. So I'll be looking for something like this to then target this. Small moves, but possible. So we are in a short term bullish, long term bearish on DXY. So we're going to take that information and apply it to charts, which include USD. So we are bullish. So we'll be looking for sells in this scenario. Okay. So starting with the same kind of principle. Monday midnight open. And then 30, get the vertical lines in. And once we have that reference point, and then mark the open. It's the midnight open. And Open. It's across. Right. I also like to get one for 9:30. Okay. So there we go. I don't know what's going on there. So when we look at the grand scheme of things, the power three, we are going to be bearish on this in this case. We are at a premium because we're above the equilibrium. So that's enticing for sales. We don't really have any fair value gaps here, so we're bearish for sure. So what we'd be looking for is open, accumulation, and then distribution to the downside. Now, that move has kind of already happened during London session, where we opened here. We the candlesticks. The midnight open. Wait. Make sure we get this right. So we opened over here. We didn't sweep it. Now we talked about this in a lesson where we want to understand that sometimes this price won't actually. This is what we want to see, right? We want to see price sweep a high, put into a fair value gap before it drops. All these types of things. The main issue is sometimes you won't get it. So you see here we have equal highs. We want to sweep of that before it goes down. Sometimes you may not get that sweep before it happens. Now, in this instance, he was bearish. So he was actually looking for price to come down to a fair value gap before it goes up. Stream. Right. So because we're short term bearish, what we would be expecting is for price to sweep some old highs, which is buy side liquidity, and then target sell side. And remember, we're short term bearish, so long term we're bullish. This liquidity still is still untouched. So I would even be expecting price to come down here to take out this liquidity before it goes up. So I'm targeting this area right here. This is my low hanging fruit. And so before I get into sales, what I'd be looking for is a sweep of equal highs. So we have buy side over here, even though it will be short term. So a sweep of this and the confirmation with our model to then target this is something I'd be looking for. And the kill zone, like this move from session open, all of this, we want this kind of move to happen before 9:30. Then displacement, confirmation of the market structure, pull back into the area of displacement area region and look for fair value gaps. That'll be our entry, and then we'll be selling towards this. So to break it down, we've determined direction by going to DXY, seeing that we are on the dollar index in short-term bullish up until a certain point, because we need fuel to go to the downside. So we'd expect price to go for that buy side liquidity on DXY. On the daily here, we are bearish because we're in a premium. We believe the next candlestick will be bearish because we are at a premium, so the price is above equilibrium from this range to this range. We also then have the fact there's no imbalances over here. There's only buy side and sell side liquidity. We're closer to sell side liquidity. I then have DXY, which is USD over here, being bullish. So if we're selling it short term, it means to buy USD we need to sell euros, and that is why we're selling. And our target is set because it lines up with the short term bias. The only thing now we need is entry, and we are looking for equal highs to be taken out. So this is previous high where we can get some. Actually, wait. Something I learned that is playing out right here. I tell you why we actually don't need to wait for this. This. Oops. Intermittent time high. Let's go like this. Why? Because it's the high. You can see this candle's lower, this candle's lower, which fulfilled the imbalance. We shouldn't expect this to be broken. So we actually don't expect this to be swept. So what we could even wait for, which is almost happening now, is a imbalance over here, and then our stop loss. Let's say we have an entry, right? We would not expect price to go above here, so we could even have like just a calm little entry here, targeting the sell side over there. But we will need entry. So fair value gap here, and there's a fair value gap here. We can enter here. If we are passive, which is when you know what you're doing, or strict or aggressive, we allow entry here, low hanging fruit, but we put a stop loss above the first candlestick contributing to this fair value gap, which is this right here, over this level, and then we add maybe like a couple pips to like here. This will be our new entry right here. And the main thing we need to make sure that we're not getting involved in manipulation, because from session open we rallied upwards, didn't take out this intermediate term high, and we've had on the smaller time frame this market shift. We're in this fair value gap, which we've seen over here that this is where our setups form into the fair value gap displacement. Into the fair value gap displacement. This is the whole fair value gap. We've come into it, entered it, bam. This is our entry, stop loss. And we can put this as another idea over here. Minute open. This might be an intermediate term high as well. Maybe not. Let's create a high. Expand it this way. From the session open, we swept up here. We didn't sweep anything because, yeah, this is an order block to be fair. Oopsie. We've essentially come up into this order block, displaced on a 1 minute time frame, and then this is the order block right here. Came up into it, displaced from it, pulled back into a 1 minute fair value gap. We sold it. We don't expect price to take out this intermediate term high, and we saw stop loss quite high up. Just from practice of low hanging fruit, this is the first fair value gap, first candlestick contributing to it. We just set our stop loss here, but we increased it still a little bit just because of spreads. Ideally, this is, if I had exact no spreads, this would be where my stop loss would be. Okay. We can log the trade. Save the trade first. Some pictures. Wait, the news. I haven't even finished logging the trade and it's already gone the opposite way. Because the news today. Yo. That'll probably take me out of the markets. Excuse me. That's the daily time frame. Kind of like this 15-minute view. This 1 minute view as well. New shot. Cool. So let's see what happens. Might be just we got unlucky with the spreads. If we got taken out, it might go up. We shall see. The only thing is now let's create equal highs. Yeesh. Don't forget, we are also assuming that we're correct about the DXY target. Maybe we wait for this before we even enter buys for you. Where's the gone? Maybe we take this out. I don't know, is this? All right. You see the example I have of this. I mean, for the power three, we assume this was a high for it because of the fact that we had this intermediate term high over here. Still expected to go down. I just feel like we got worked out with this. What's the principle behind the entry here? Well, we took out this low here with this fair value gap. Only in this second one here, we entered low hanging fruit, but in theory, you probably want to hang it entering around here. You want to set your stops above here, but you kind of want space. You also need to account for volatility on the time frame. Shouldn't like we're not expecting price to kind of come up this high. So we'll be safe. So EU has a spread of about 1. So in theory, it'll be like 4.8. It's set to about 4.5. Okay, now let's take this philosophy, apply it to. So I just checked. We got swept out of the first one. We're gonna re-enter. Before we book that trade, let me excuse me. Let's scan actually. Need to scan again. The way to do voice to text. Let's save this for real quick. This one is stop loss. 1.17148. We can always add more information as we go along, but we're not trying to review our trades right now. We're just trying to log them. So this is closed, right? Yes, we stopped out by thingy. We got here the entry price. Yep. Oh, we got that at 148. So got slippage as well. But we didn't lose this much. Definitely use 5. Entry one, yes. Exit, yes. What's the problem? What if I is correct? I'm trying here. Maybe this was it. 4 pips according to this. Yeah, I just added more money just in case I don't get a margin call. So yeah, me added bounces should be all right, but still that it's annoying. This is correct, I think. Yeah, it was 6.99, but why is this one saying 3.1? Mm, maybe it's enough. This one came out 452. Why is it when I click edit trade? It's not. Yo, well, we need to fix that. I can't edit this trade basically. Edit this. Refresh the page. Okay, now it's working. All right, so it came out 2. Does it change to 7? Yeah, it does. See, so it's calculating it properly here. How does it know? Oh, I entered it manually. I see. I see. So 4.8. The lot size of this. Oh, no. That's wrong as well. Entry price was. So how do I enter it manually? I need to refresh the page each time. This is the most recent one. So what screenshot we put? I think it's the 1 minute. Is there I can. I want to put the time frame so it shows up. It's just line type or settings, symbol, legend. That's cool. symbol. And then now, Control Shift S, it should show, right? Yeah. We can get rid of this. So that's 5 minutes. Get the daily. Okay, that's the 2 charts done. With, no wait, it has it with, the one without. Also unsplit this. Don't like this view. Try this. Cool. Bam. What? I haven't exited. Why is it saying this? Yo, we got a lot of work to fix. This is why anyway. Why is it saying the restored ratio is that? I've even put a stop loss or take profit. Why is it closed? Live trade. Why is that not saved? Okay, it's saved here. Good. Okay, because they thought it closed. That's why I was in. Okay, that makes sense. Need to get a notepad to make some notes of these updates are needed. Update this for a while. Okay, this today is 4 for the 5th, 26, 14, 31. Okay. Nugget. What's DXY doing? It swept this low yet? Oh, yeah. Probably what's causing this. Actually, before that, because of the time, let us look at other USD pairs. So let's look at GU. Analyze this quickly. Okay. Daily fair value up here. This swing high to this swing low in the premium. Dipped into this. Long day. Wally. Like this one. Oh, the midpoint. I like. Oh, like this. The fair value gap within the discount. Market open. Midnight open. Sorry, we have equal highs over here. Again, we didn't manipulate above these highs. Would be looking for manipulation on this 8:30 window to 9:30. We didn't really get any manipulation. Just to pull back into this order. Well, this fair value up here, and just consolidating, moving sideways. The EU trade was in. Stop loss. That broke the intermediate term high. Keep that here. Which is interesting. Let's quickly make a note of that. Yeah, we need to fix that. Any other bugs? This will get fixed probably today anyway. So, okay, so this one we actually broke the high we assumed we was not going to break. The midnight open. This whole thing being manipulation is crazy. Technically possible, but I would make from here to here is 1 to 0. Oh no, from here, oh my God, from here to here, manipulation. That means manipulation would be this whole thing here, which is unreasonable. So I do think this was part of the move. Let me check the back again. Okay, well, what we are saying is happening, to be fair. So we're probably wrong on that intermediate term high. We predicted that price would come back down here to this order block to then go up, targeting this buy side liquidity. That was our point. Now we are short term bullish, long term bearish. So we do have to keep that in mind. We also have to account that we may not even go up to that liquidity. We may just drop from here. So I think it was wrong to include that as the. Like we don't need to know when price is going here. We just need to know it's going here. So a reaction from this would be good. But then this could also, so basically where we're at is we don't know where price is going first. And simply, this could be a market structure sweep, part of the manipulation to then fuel the push to the downside. And our target long term is to go here. Or it could simply just go here. Which I don't think it will do this. Which is why I think it will drop first. Sweep, sweep, push. And it may not even target this fully. It may even just sweep this. Then go up. So that's my posture. Okay, we're at the order block right now. Check on GU. So with GU here, we're bullish because, wait, does that fit our long-term bearishness? It does. We're bullish because we've come deep into this discount zone. So next candlestick, which is this one, should be bullish. So we're bullish for the day. Then you have the fact that obviously you're in a bullish momentum anyway. So what will be manipulation? So open to it. No, wait, all this is manipulation here. We did take out this high with fair value gap, pull back into it. But we don't have liquidity. Look at the ideal entries. Is this? That's what we're looking for. We don't have that. This is not taking any lows, right? Does that count? I don't think it does. So we do have maybe not equal lows per se, but old fair value gap. this be an entry. So the idea we're utilizing here, pull back into this old rally gap, displaced upwards, traded above the old high, pulled back into this region where multiple fair value gaps, set in the stop loss to the first candlestick contributing to the move to be done here. Also line up with the bias of DXY, long term being bearish because we're buying against the dollar, and the long term bearishes or long term plans there sweeps in and displaces downwards. I think I may potentially. I don't know if I can classify that as sell side liquidity. It's minor liquidity, but I see the gist is that it's coming from the fact that this is contributing to it. That equal lows. Hmm. Don't like it. Oh, not good enough. Here we've had a sweep. This. Mm, I get in my way. Um, Here's my. Mm, I'm yet to have a market shutter shift here, so that's why we're not interested. With this, we we had one on the 1 minute here. So I think the model entry is fine. The context wasn't. Okay, so we got at least the first bit right of the price coming back down here. Now the question is whether or not it will continue or not. Look at some tape. Let's see. So if it was create a high, taken out of this low with displacement, you could even just pull back into like this and then drop. Or this could be the fuel we need to push to the upside. It's more plausible. Well, look at the larger time frame. There's resting liquidity here, strong resting liquidity here. So mainly because we failed to break that low over here. So that will just encourage the strength of this for retail traders. Push back up into this fair value up here. Feel the push to the downside here since the liquidity over here. We are on a discount, so it does make sense for price to go up as well. And this fill low could introduce this, but once we hit our target, which would be this liquidity up here, we'll be done. The thing is, we are yet to hit the target. This liquidity is still yet untouched. This needs to be further out. So since session open, we've right up into this fair value gap, pushed down, taking this liquidity until this order block. So I don't actually know. Let's actually leave USD alone. Some potential here. So when it open, we rally downwards, shift upwards, distribute this way, or pull back into this area for value gap. And then just place upwards. And from the session open, we just create equal lows. We did come into an old fair value gap right here, of which we did come back into it. Shift here, we now need price to come back down into this. Back here. One over here. We're gonna get an entry. Trading up into this area. Oopsie. So it would have been an entry. No heavy displacement breaking these highs over here, so I'm interested. Even though prices pull back into this fair value gap, I'm not interested in the buy here. From 8:30, we kind of consolidated. Didn't run any stops. Guess we kind of went into this old fair value gap here. Didn't really have a market shift, but we did have one here. So from here to here, across, this is now entering an entry zone, especially when we're taking out an ITH and STH. The only thing would be what DXY is saying, because a buying of USD is saying that USD is going to go down, which we are in this area. The session open, we did rally up, which could be the fake out to come to this order block. But I think we got the daily thing wrong, because our long-term bias was that it drops, and it's probably not targeting this liquidity, since we failed to reach it over here, and it could be initiating the downward trend to down here, especially when there's no news. Essentially, this will now be a long. That's why it's important to have the direction first. So for DXY, we fulfilled the fair value gap. It would create high next to the buy side liquidity, so we don't need to fill it all the way. Plus, we looked at it prior. We saw an example where that literally happened. Um, it's actually an order block, but I already haven't seen it right here. What is this? Bearish fair value gap. The equalize name in that open. What's interesting, I don't think I'll enter this. I think we're just gonna monitor. I'm gonna lie, I'm feeling kind of tired. I might take a nap because I do need to leave. Oof, I need to leave at 6. It's 3 hours. So I could take a nap for an hour. Or I could try push through episode 25. I think we'll watch live markets today. Not gonna lie. I'm extremely tired. You can probably hear my voice. I'm very tired. The only thing we need to really watch is this. Is it bullish or bearish? Is there any other opportunities? Be a sell price action. I'll be bearish on this. Let's see what the bias is. In the premium, value up, build, bearish. I like this for sells. Right. Look. Oh, I see. Market open. We didn't actually take out any old highs. If I see if I really operate from here to here. Okay, let's use the order block instead. An order block. Now low, and we've done so with some bearishness. The first fair value gap. The second one. We'll be looking for a retracement. Low bound here. Liquidity would be targeting. We're taking on this buy side liquidity. We'll be targeting this overall. I'll take some partials. These levels. Potentially. I really like this moon. Oh, hello. So that doesn't look valid. What's DXY saying? DXY looks like it's going with the original plan. Push to this order block, push up to this liquidity area. We've had the manipulation down to the downside, so we're bullish now, confirmed on USD, which means that we can start looking for sells here. And we can see this now in a different light. Let me just get rid of some noise. Let's get rid of this and this. This now becomes an equal highs run that's been run through. We would need still, this will count as a manipulation. We still need price to take out low right here. And then we'll retracement into the fair value up to the target sell side. AD CAD. We had a pull back into from, I actually like this. Push up into the old block, push down, breaking this low, pull back into this old block again. So because we entered at the order block or this fair value up here, so the stop loss above this, you'll be in the trade still. For re-entry, we have a displacement taking out this low. Pull back here, setting above the first. Candlestick contributing fair value gap with some spread. Allowing us to get into this re-entry, but we still haven't come up to our entry level yet. I'm gonna be precise. Again, this is take out this low, re-enter into the displacement range, and we're good to go. Okay, so this is not entry range. The spread on this actually quite tight, allegedly. We do this quite calmly. So what's 979? There we go. Again, I'll just go over this trade. So daily bias, we have the swing low, swing high. We're in this premium area, which is above this equilibrium. So we're looking, let's target sells. We then see, let me try to remove these drawers. Wait. We got it wrong. I thought this was a fair value gap. So here we do have a failed high. I thought this was a fair value gap that we've come up into. we have this big displacing candle. We've pulled back into the displacing candle right here. And 1, 2, third rejection. We created equal highs over here on hourly time frame. And then these equal highs have been swept. We've displaced the downside, breaking this low, reaching this order block, or like this low of the fair value gap right here. And then we pushed it back up, failing to go high. This being an intermediate term high because it's rare. Call this thing. So rebalance this fair value gap. So the price shouldn't break this high. Then we come up to it close, which is an order block. Right here. Come up into that order block, displace downwards, taking out some lows, push back to this order block. You probably getting that. Second one, we see the first fair value gap, second fair value gap, enter on the low, hanging fruit, set the stop loss above the first candlestick, contribute to this upper fair value gap, which is this one right here. And then we just add spread and that's it. So it should come up into drawdown comfortably and then potentially drop into this liquidity right here. Taking out this buy side, look likely to target down sell side. And the day bias. The only mistake we made at the daily bias is this fair value gap. It's not fair value gap. There is the displacing candle, but it's not a fair value gap. So that's the only mistake we made. I would have reduced it maybe amount we would have risked normally if I entered that trade. Still trying to figure these DXY pairs out. And yeah, we'll see. I'm probably just gonna monitor the trades, I'll be honest. And I'm extremely tired. I go to bed like 5, 6 a.m. So I want to take a nap because I have a long evening. And then potentially might stream the episode on the return from my outing to church. Shout out to everyone that came today. This is one of those days. Excuse me. And yeah, we'll return later today or tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been with CJ. I'll see you guys for day 66, if not this evening. Peace.